Hi there. Let's talk about that horrible, horrible 8-letter word that everybody loves to hate. Practice! How important is regular practice for music students? Okay, first let me give you some facts. 100% of students who practice on a regular basis learn to play their instruments. 100%. That's all of them. Okay, so if you are a student and you are given material by your teacher and you practice that material on a regular basis, on a regular schedule, you will learn to play your instruments. That's a fact. Nobody ever learned how to do anything by not doing it. What happens when you practice? You get better. What happens when you don't practice? Nothing. That's what happens when you don't practice. Nothing happens. You just don't learn to play. Okay, let's talk about lesson time versus practice time. Lesson time with your instructor and practice time at home are two totally different things. You cannot count time with your instructor as practice time. That's when you get your instruction. Your practice time is when you get home and you carry out your instruction. I had one student say to me one time, I tell you what, I've been taking lessons for a year and I can't play. How long is it going to take me to play? And I asked him, I said, oh, okay, how much practice time do you spend? Well, I don't practice very much, but I came to all my lessons. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how much time is spent in lessons. Most sessions are 30 minutes, and that's what they are here at EMusic. And most teachers give you 4 lessons per month. That's 4 weeks out of the month that you're taking lessons. So that comes out to 4 sessions, 30 minutes. That's 2 hours a month. There's 12 months in a year, so that comes out to a total of 24 hours. So if you came to every single lesson, never missed a lesson for the whole year, you'd get 24 hours of lesson time in. That's 24 hours. That's one day. And I don't know anybody who learned how to play an instrument in one day. So you have to spend time at home practicing in order to get any time spent on your instrument. Time spent on the instrument can accumulate dramatically if you have a regular schedule of practice that you stick to. Did you know that just 2 hours of practice a week comes out to 128 hours of time on the instrument if you include the time in class? That's 128 hours in a year spent on your instrument if you practice 2 hours a week on your own. If you practice 1 hour a day every day of the year, like I'd like for you to do, you're going to accumulate around 400 hours of time on your instrument. Now that's what I'm talking about. 400 hours. That's some serious time spent on that instrument. And you know, am I asking too much for you to spend 1 hour a day on your instrument? I don't think so. I talk to a lot of kids, and kids spend hours on video games and TV, hours a day, every day of the year, and you know there's not going to be anything gained from that. But they're spending that kind of time in front of the TV or sitting down to play a video game. And I'll ask some of the kids, what did you learn from your video game? Oh, I just had fun, you know, whatever. But anyway, if you want to do something worthwhile, spend 1 hour a day on your instrument, and that's something that you can take with you for the rest of your life. How important is your lesson material to your practice? Well, I got to tell you, you cannot hold your teacher responsible for your development if you don't practice your lesson material. That's very important stuff that he's giving you. And if you have a teacher that's not giving you lesson material, you might want to hunt for another teacher. Okay? So if you have lesson material that your teacher is giving you to carry out, you need to practice that first, and then practice the stuff with your friends, or practice stuff you're trying to learn on the radio or the internet and that kind of thing. Practice your lesson material, get it done, work it out, learn to understand it. If you don't understand it, the next time you're in your class, ask your teacher what you're supposed to do, so you've got your instructions straight. You should never leave class and not understand what it is that you are to do. So make sure that you carry out your lesson material, you practice it, and then after you've done practicing it and you've got it going on with your lesson material, then you can venture out to other musical endeavors like songs off the radio or songs on the internet. Let's make sure that you practice the lesson material that is given to you by your instructor. The best kind of practice is self-initiated practice. You're going to always do better at something if it is something that you want to do. Desire has a lot to do with how well you do anything. So you should set up a practice schedule on your own, initiated by you. Of course, you know, if you don't practice, your parents are going to ask you to practice, or they're going to get after you about practicing, and that's a normal thing. They're paying for lessons and they want you to do well, and they don't want you to waste their money. Okay? Money does not grow on trees. Okay, what's the general idea here? You are to practice as often as you can, as regularly as you can. So you need to initiate a practice schedule that suits your life, initiated by you, not by someone else, not your parents, not your friends, but you need to sit down and decide what your practice schedule would be like. If you practice as often as you can and as regularly as you can, I promise you that someday you will become a great musician. I'm Eric Blackmon, and I approve this message.